Good morning, everyone. Today I want to talk about coronavirus and the psychological impact of coronavirus. What happens is, can we feel it? Can we taste it? Can we see it? I mean, our sense organs are not working and registering properly because we can't feel it, we can't sense it. And unless and until we don't sense things, our body doesn't register, our brain doesn't register. So it is this fear of the unknown that is causing anxiety and stress in each and every individual all over the world. So what happens is that our central nervous system gets messages from our endocrine system, from our sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. So right now what's happening is, because of this fear of the unknown, and especially that we know that there is no cure for this COVID-19, that is the reason we are getting anxiety and stress. So this is okay, this is normal. Everybody does go through it and face it. But now what is going to happen is, how do we appraise the particular situation is important. I meet with a car accident or there's a death in the family. How do I appraise that particular situation? Do I appraise it as a threat or as a challenge? So depending on the way we appraise the situation, or depending on the way we view that situation, our stress and anxiety levels will differ to individual. Yes, I know there is no cure for it. It's the fear of the unknown that is causing anxiety and stress in each and every individual. But what are we going to do about it? How are we going to continue living our lives? Are we going to be sad or are we going to be happy about it? We all know the features of the symptoms. We all know that, okay, there's difference between just a regular flu and the symptoms which are added, like high fever and all, along with different infections, viral infections. We know that the differences between the diseases. But where do we stop? How does our anxiety reduce? So of course we have stress management techniques and all of that. That helps. Sometimes it doesn't help everyone. Staying at home, yes, I know that is the best option right now we can do for us. But the main thing is, continue your life the way it is going on or has been going on. We don't have to escape or be a coward from it. We have to face that situation and handle it correctly. Right? Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is T. Divya Lakshmi of Great Wellbe Commerce. I will be sharing few guidelines on how to cope with stress during self-isolation. We are certainly facing through tough times. There's plenty to be stressed about this global pandemic which is spreading across the world. People are confined to their homes, people are working from their homes, and some people are even losing their jobs as well. Children are feeling restless and parents are trying their level best to keep their family and children to be taken care of. There are financial crises to worry about. Stress is an unavoidable part of reality. The prevention and management of stress is equally important, and this importance is to have a healthy and positive mindset. There are few guidelines to how to cope with stress, how to keep your mind and body at ease. The first and foremost is to have mental awareness exercises like yogic exercises or meditation, which helps you to be calm and composed. Second is home workouts. This is the most efficient task to be done by youth so that they can boost their energy and can reduce stress as well. You can clean your house, which has multitude of ways like therapeutic properties as well, and helps you to gain self-satisfaction. We didn't have much time to do what we used to love doing, and this is an ideal time to whatever you like, whatever makes you feel happy, like to master your skills, to do your hobbies as well. You can try explore. There are various platforms on the internet today, and you can try on new things, master your skills as well. You can play online games, which is trending nowadays, and you can have a friendly chat with your friends. And apart from screen time, you need to focus on pages as well. Reading is most effective. It helps you to be reserved to one place and can reduce stress as well. The goal of preventing and managing stress isn't about getting rid of it, but then to reduce the effect, to cope with the circumstances as well. If you are a student, if you are working from home, never think that it's a very tough job to work from home. Like, you can keep a schedule, you can check up to your daily routines, and the more you hard work now, the more you have a foreseeable future as well. There are 3 coping strategies given by Endler and Parker. The first one is task-oriented strategy. It is well suitable for teachers as well as the students who can stick up to the daily routine and schedule with alternators. Second is emotion-oriented strategy. This can involve efforts to maintain hope and to control one's emotions. It can also involve venting of feelings of anger and frustration, or deciding that nothing can be done to change things. You can follow mental awareness exercises which are beneficial for your mental health, like meditating, yoga, listening to music. So the third one is avoidance-oriented strategy. This involves denying or minimizing the effects. Well, fake news causes a lot of distress among people. Isn't news you're reading online is fake? We can't stop fake news from being made, but we can stop sharing it. These are the few benefits of teaching coping strategy. Remember, there are 5 guidelines to be followed. First is to practice mental awareness exercises. Second, to try at home workouts. Third is to clean your house. Fourth is to master new skills or explore new things. Fifth is to work, be determined, be composed, and never ever give up. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.
Good day everyone, this is Vanilla from grade 12 C Humanities. Today I'm here to speak about Corona and its effects on our mental health. So basically the outbreak of the virus itself is quite unexpected. None of us expected to see so many cases as well as deaths. And because of which we had to face different kinds of events such as lockdowns and curfews. So because of all these things, many people are going through a tremendous stress. The reasons can be quite different. For few people, they are completely worried about the future. They're constantly thinking how, if they or their family members get affected by the virus, how to handle that and everything. And other than this, because of these lockdowns, we are staying in our home, right? So our works are getting stopped. None of us are able to do our work as efficiently as before. So we are getting a lot of incomplete work, leftover presentations, exams, and many things like that. So because of this, we are unable to cheer up ourselves. We are going into a tremendous stress and anxiety. But one thing what we should understand is the problem is like that. If we go out, we are just it is just like risking our lives. But it is very important. That is why it is very important to stay in our house. But we should definitely keep a hope in ourselves. Once everything will get sorted out, we can definitely keep our efforts, and within a short period of time we can we can bring everything back to normal. But now we should we should always cheer up and be composed and calm, and work as efficiently as possible from the home itself, and always manage to stay safe from coronavirus. Thank you.
This is Chetna from grade 12 Science, here to speak on post-traumatic stress as an impact of social distancing. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is a type of anxiety disorder characterized by trauma which may last for months or even years. It is usually experiencing terrifying events followed by symptoms like nightmares or upsetting memories and flashbacks. An individual with PTSD may experience behavioral changes like irritability, psychological disorders like severe anxiety, mood swings, and sleeping disorders like insomnia. PTSD is usually experienced by people who have been through natural disasters, victims of physical abuse, and or been in a war. The coronavirus pandemic can bring about similar effect in the lives of people. People who are in lockdown, maintaining social distance, may not be under the direct effect of coronavirus, but as PTSD is more concerned by our interpretation, it may indirectly affect us. Wailing people off from each other for a long time means the secondary effects of the pandemic, such as social unrest and unemployment could trigger mental health issues, and PTSD is an example. As per experts, people who are quarantined are at higher risk of PTSD than who aren't. People in lockdown with prior mental disorders could develop addictions. Also, domestic violence and child abuse could rise. Also, patients of the coronavirus can experience severe anxiety and alarm as a result of the virus. Also, the healthcare workers are at a risk of mental health issues as they share same fear. Apart from this, simply watching news coverage about a traumatic event like the increased number of cases of COVID-19 and the number of deaths may result in acute stress, which if not managed could lead to distress, which is a cause of PTSD. Therefore, it is very important to take guidelines and use strategies not only to prevent coronavirus but also to cope with the stress, which is the base for most of the mental disorders, ultimately a silent killer. Thank you.